me, can you hear that thing?
They'll tell us. You hear that? Good evening. Welcome to 30 Something Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa. And in the building tonight, we have our super producer, Kamiko,
Hey.
our host, Miss Marie,
Hey.
and then we have Drea. And we are joined by our special guest, Miss Crystal White, who will tell us all about life thriving in Oak Cliff. Tonight we have a jam-packed show for you. I know everybody is recovering from Labor Day. Did anybody eat some barbecue? I didn't eat any barbecue.
I didn't either.
I did the ambiance. I went by there. They had like turkey legs. I
Oh,
got a
okay.
turkey leg
Stuff
on,
on
on credit.
Oh, that
Oh,
sounds
that's
good.
I'm like, so I'm
Ambiance Catering.
Yes,
We did their show a
Yes.
while back
Mhm.
for Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Yeah, that food was good.
it was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have not one rib tip, baked beans.
I was
didn't
trying to
have
relax.
nothing. I was driving. I took my son back to school.
I
How was
saw
that?
you at Johnny's.
Man.
Now, that
I
pizza was
did have
looking
my
good,
Johnny's
though.
pizza from
But we
Louisiana.
all
I was excited about that. Like as soon as I was like within like a 15-minute distance, I called him up and I was like, I need to place my order.
Was it good?
It was
Okay, I'm
looking
being
good.
honest. It wasn't the best. It was overcooked a little bit, just a tad bit.
Johnny's used to be so much better.
Well, the one in Ruston isn't as good as the one in Shreveport. I went to the one in Ruston.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I've been so.
I think that was the
little shopping
difference.
center.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, enough about food. Y'all know I'm always talk about pizza if somebody gives me a chance to. So Drea, tell us what's going on in the world.
Oh, let's see where to start. Let's see what we have first, Miko. Because I think I got out of order with mine. So Kevin Hart had a car accident. It says that he went into surgery on Sunday. So says he what day was it? Was it Saturday? Yeah, early Sunday morning.
Right.
He was on Mulholland Highway in LA, which is like a crazy winding road up in the hills. And it appears to be like almost like they were racing type situation to me, but they got into an accident and apparently he was pinned under the roof of the car. They had to get him out of the car and he sustained like major back injuries is what they said. Now there was a lot of craziness circulating the internet saying that he was like paralyzed from like the neck down,
they did say that.
and his vocal cords were crushed, and he's not gonna be able to talk again. But all that was hoax. His wife Aniko went. She did a video on the way to the hospital, said he's gonna be just fine, and that he had to undergo surgery, and he came out of surgery successful. So we just want to send our love and positive energy and prayers and all that good stuff out to Kevin Hart.
Who was the mystery lady in the car?
You know, I saw that. It said that.
That's what I want to know. I want to know the real details. Tell me what really was going on. It was three
It was
people.
in the car. The driver.
Because the last time he was in a car with a lady. Hello, somebody.
Like not today. Like
why
this tall
not?
man ain't even here to defend himself.
Why not?
At least
Why?
last time he could defend himself.
No,
Unless
this
it
is
was
not
his
right.
best friend.
Are we gonna keep it real, or we gonna send our
But
condolences?
He could. They in our
I'm
thoughts
not
and
in the
prayers.
sending the
That's all.
condolences
And
and
if it was-
positive
If
vibes.
it was just him,
I
and
need
her,
to know all the details.
But I mean, even if he was with a mystery,
It could be a
still
cover
say it.
up. It could be a cover up. He could have his homeboy riding with him to cover up his misdeeds.
But even if it
Well,
was,
let's think positive. Maybe
but
it was
let's
his
say that it
homeboy's
was.
girlfriend.
But let's say that it was. Let's say that he has a cheating problem. Does he still deserve to be like?
I didn't say he deserved it. I never said that. I just want to know the real.
You just trying to get the tea.
Yeah.
Leave it to
Want the
Lila.
tea.
She
I'm
like, look.
thirsty. Give me the tea. I need to know what's really going on. That's all. I just want to know the other details.
That they leaving out, right?
Right, that's being left out.
Well, hopefully.
Because y'all know black women is back there in the background talking about, yeah, that's karma.
You know, that's like the first
But
time
I don't
I've
even-
ever heard somebody say that so far.
Well, I done heard at least 3 people
Lisa
say it.
ass felt like she like we're gonna talk about something later on. Like
With your broke back. Out here cheating with your broke back.
I don't wish bad on anybody.
She like,
Today.
but may you get what you get.
I said
Like,
today. Yeah, that's what I tell people. Have the kind of day you deserve.
Like have a conversation. Yeah, that's what I actually was gonna say.
Pretty much. That's all I say now.
Have the kind of day you
All right,
deserve.
so we done with Kevin Hart.
Oh yes,
Yes,
American
okay.
Airlines. See, look at you, we just vibing. So, American Airlines has filed. American Airlines passenger has filed a lawsuit against the company for forcing him off a flight to make way for a stinking ass.
For a Fido.
Dog.
A dog.
Well, so I guess he was in first class. One of the passengers had one of those like what is those dogs?
It's a service dog.
Service dog. So he's also allergic to the service dog as well.
Mhm.
So that was part of why he couldn't sit in first class. So then they told him to go sit in the back. And then he's like, fuck that. Which, I mean, I could see the frustration being upset. So,
Why
either
you just didn't switch? They should have just switched the other person around that was allergic.
but I think they felt like the cabins or something, because I feel like the issue is the cabin space with the dog being in that cabin space. And you know how first class is
Well, no,
segregated.
they said that they asked
Segregated.
people to move and nobody wanted to switch seats with him.
What color was the guy who's filing the lawsuit?
He's black.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
black.
Dana Holcomb.
What-
is
But I mean,
Dang.
rightfully so, I would be frustrated. But then I would
He paid
think, too,
for a first class ticket.
like, I wouldn't want to sit
and
in
he
the back
had
if I
to
paid for a
list that
first
he had
class
a
ticket.
service dog with him.
No,
No,
he
no,
didn't
so
have a
the-
service dog. Another
And that's where I'm like
patron had
up
a
in the
service
air about it
dog.
though. That's what
Oh,
kind
it
of
wasn't
gets
even his dog.
So it was like one of the first class passengers had a service dog. He couldn't be near the service dog due to his allergies. But then he also didn't want to sit in the back. So I don't really know what would have been a good resolution, because it's like, so then you put the man in the service dog off and catch the next flight, because that's kind of like that peanut allergy situation as well.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
I think that they should be mindful of allergies, because I remember I had to ride beside somebody who was musty, and I'm allergic to smelling musty people, and it was a rather uncomfortable flight. What? I don't
Like,
understand y'all facial expressions.
Well, what if it's there? You know,
No, I am allergic to tobacco though, and I did have to.
You ain't allergic to no must.
I am
Part of
allergic to
their
must.
culture.
Yeah, I
and
was just gonna say
tobacco.
it may be a part of some
That's
people's
my
culture,
culture.
because we're not supposed to be using deodorant. That's how our body and all that stuff gets sick, right?
Well, there are some essential oils that they can
You are
become
absolutely
No, she
correct.
said mask that shit.
Yeah,
Peppermint
you
is
are
a good
exactly
one.
right.
Mhm.
But they embrace that. They like to embrace that.
I don't like the way Dre keeps looking at me because I said I was allergic to must.
You said you allergic to musty people.
You just
I
don't like
am.
this.
And Kevin,
No,
Well,
it
she
like,
causes
and,
me
and
problems.
Kevin, that's what he get.
Right.
That
with
stinking
broke
ass
back.
dog.
Right.
The wrong line, like, do you want to talk after this?
We gonna steal some positive energy over here to you.
I don't
She like
understand
it, not
why
today.
I get
She
treated
said
this
not
way.
today. Not today.
I'm just
Brings
inserting
the
my
cake.
opinion.
Okay.
I'm
awesome.
making the people laugh, I think. I
Yeah,
hope
right.
so.
You
They like
tickling
that.
the hell out of us. So look.
So back to your story, Dre. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so they were basically American Airlines. They said that the federal regulation requires American Airlines to transport, service, and support animals. American Airlines makes every effort to accommodate all passengers, including those traveling with seated, near, service, or support animals. In case of an allergy, we work to reseat the passenger further away from the service or support animal. If the customer is still not comfortable flying, we will rebook them on the next available flight to destination, which is ultimately what they did. But I just think that it just comes at a really bad
Bad time for them.
like for them, because it's been so many incidents of them, the incident with the
Doctor.
the doctor
Changing
who they
her
told her
clothes.
to change her
yeah.
clothes because
She was on American
She had a-
Airlines.
yeah,
I
she
thought
had a
that was
booty.
United.
Thankful, grateful
Oh.
said, you ain't saying nothing.
um,
He's talking about wake up.
Well, I don't think that they should be sued, in my opinion, because that was like a lose-lose situation in that instance, because then they would come across as though they were discriminating against the guy and his
With
service
service, yeah.
dog. And the guy having allergies. I do agree that people should be made aware if they're coming in contact with something or someone, in my instance, someone that they have, allergies to. But I mean, what were they supposed to do? Were they gonna send him an email and say, "Hey, we're gonna have this service dog on your flight"?
And they may not necessarily know neither. I don't know how they
because we don't list our allergies when we book a flight either.
So I think that perhaps, I don't know if there was a conversation that was had that said, "Hey, since you have this allergy, we have to move you from first class to economy or whatever. We can refund you the difference." I don't know what the recompense was when it came to that. So if they had that conversation, then that's one thing. But if it's like, anybody want to switch seats now, so you have to sit in the back of the plane.
And I wouldn't, if I pay for first class, I don't want to sit in the back of the plane.
Exactly.
Like, I'll sit in the back of the plane.
In first class. Exactly.
Right. And
I can see the frustration.
Yeah.
And
I
should have just gave him the flight for free, if you ask me.
Right. Gave him a flight and paid him. Because typically they're like,
or they
they got the rules.
Was
like, we'll switch seats.
Well, then I have
some
lawsuits. I need to go back and backdate if y'all saying that this guy should be compensated for an inconvenience. Well, y'all said they should have gave him a new flight and gave him his money back.
Well, anytime they ask you to move or even give up your seat if they're overbooked, they pay for your next flight or whatever flight you're on, and they give you a voucher towards your next.
And then they your meals while you wait.
And then they even have levels.
They don't necessarily pay for the flight though. They just put you on the next flight.
So that's covered though. Because
you already paid for.
Yeah, but then they give you a voucher towards another one. So
sometimes they give you.
No, I've never seen them.
American they do.
American, I typically fly. No, it'd be like 300.
Yeah, it should cover a round trip flight. It should cover.
You're not negotiating right then.
No.
I would love to get kicked off. Like,
I've never had, except for that one time.
And then they book your hotel too. Here's our voucher for your hotel.
Yeah. I love those hotel vouchers. I'm
like the high.
If I get stuck, give me a hotel voucher and a food voucher.
But I feel like suing people just in general, it's not about right or wrong. It's about what I can get away with. What I can, because even too, I would want as a big organization anything dealing with race relations, piss poor race relations. I want it to go away.
Of course.
So I'm gonna cut your ass a check just to be quiet, and have you sign an NDA and keep it moving.
Yeah, they don't care about moving with integrity. They just want to, get you out the way and.
They right or wrong. They're like, how can we
fix this real quick? Get you out.
How can you quit talking about this?
Exactly. I feel like if they made some sort of move to try to rectify or try to like make it better for him in the situation. But if it was like just something simple where it's like, well, we got this seat in the back of the plane by the bathroom. If you don't want to sit there, then I'm sorry. If it was that kind of situation, then but
he's acting like he was on Soul Plane though. He was on American Airlines. He wasn't on the Soul Plane. She
ain't got no love for the brother. She like, look.
I just in this particular instance,
but even
I think that he could have took the next flight, but we don't know what they offered.
But then also we don't know what he had to do.
I was going to say he probably had an engagement to get to.
Okay, but the man and his service dog had things to do. They were trying to get to PetSmart.
Again, so it's all the same thing. Like somebody's gonna take a hit.
Yeah. So somebody
we're going back to
whoever takes the hit, even if they would have asked the guy with the service animal to get off of the plane, they should have still done something for him. Exactly. It wasn't this really has nothing to do with race to me. I just feel like
I just want to know what his race was.
You're inconvenient. No, I'm saying because they mentioned it like they're spinning the story like it's African American person being discriminated against. That's how he's spinning it. But I don't think that that's a good way to spin it. I think it's you inconvenience me, and it's just horrible customer service.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I'm not seeing it because the service dog man would have been in the same position.
But so it kind of been vice versa.
So then the next flight, somebody else has a dog allergy. Then the service dog man and his little dog just going to be wandering around the airport.
So would you be comfortable sitting next to Musk?
No, but I mean, but you know what? I didn't have a choice, and I've had to do it. So
you were just gonna suck it in?
I asked to move, so leave me alone. On to the next story. I told him I had asthma and I couldn't breathe.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that.
And I pulled out my asthma pump.
Popeyes. Did I say the Popeyes story?
They've been tripping over
here we go.
That's embarrassing.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's some more stuff to talk about Popeyes.
Girls, they try to roll up on Popeye. Like what's up?
Oh, the man pulled a gun.
There's a man suing Popeye
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
Another
they ran
man.
out of sandwiches.
Then another group pulled up armed trying to jack them for the.
And then did you see the two girls that was fighting in there because the lady got the last sandwich?
I seen some other videos.
What
I
was
was just
that
like,
at?
Yeah, it just happened like 2 days ago. The lady got the last chicken sandwich, and the people behind her was mad because I guess she ordered 4, and it was like the last 4, and it was like
I thought they had that
jumped
2
her.
minimum. I thought they had that rule only 2.
but you know
Wow.
if it's 4, everybody has to be with you.
Oh.
So she had all 4 people. It was her and her 4 kids.
It look-
Ooh.
all we finna eat.
So her
You're
kids
not.
didn't jump in the fight.
I don't
No,
know.
she
They, look,
Wait.
Meanwhile, so they ain't trying to send everybody to jail. She like, if I'm
You
fighting,
just
you
come
gonna be
in.
fighting too. Sorry.
yeah,
No,
it's gonna
no.
be-
If I have a fight and people jump me, my children better well jump
Oh,
in
they
that
got
fight.
jumped. I thought it was just a regular
So
fight.
here's the story.
Please.
They jumping people
A mob of 2
what she
women
Oh.
and 3 men and a baby
and the baby. Oh,
and a
shit.
baby.
were told at the drive. Were told at the
Sorry.
drive-through
Yep.
that the chicken sandwiches were sold out, but that apparently triggered the would-be customers. Triggered.
Wow.
That's when the police said they tried to get inside the store, y'all. One man had a gun, and they let me see. Here it is. One man had a gun, and here we go. But the restaurant worker was able to lock them out. All the while, the group left the baby inside the damn car, y'all.
Wow.
Wait.
Behind a chicken sandwich.
it
Leave your
Nah,
baby
somebody
in the
gonna
car.
call
car.
GPS on that shit.
Leave your
now.
baby in the car for a chicken sandwich.
was more of an aggravated assault because he was displaying the weapon and threatening an employee.
Wow.
And that was Lieutenant Larry Croson of Houston Police. This is in Southeast Houston. It seems laughable, but people who live in the area along Popeyes customers say they didn't find anything funny about the incident. He could have shot someone behind a chicken sandwich, said Fred Taylor. Someone could have lost their life because they ran out of chicken sandwiches. So I don't think that they caught these people.
Why
said
would they
that
call it a
they're-
mob though? It was like 5 people. Are you mobbing on
I
people
ain't
with
like
5
that.
people?
I think
It's
4 or more is considered
four-
a mob.
oh.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of
But
shit?
y'all-
Baby.
Y'all pulling
But you
up
leave
You
your
got the
baby.
the baby that's sick.
That could have been a smart baby. Look like they got them hold the baby.
No, that was
Meanwhile,
the same
along, the baby
from,
was the
Bebe's
mastermind.
Kids. That's
Like, it was
probably
the
what
baby
was.
idea all along. He
They
like,
told
I'm
the
gonna sit
baby
in
to
the car.
watch out while we go get
Right.
your chicken
Or the
sandwich.
baby like, y'all go get these.
Exactly.
Like, y'all go get these sandwiches. I'm gonna be in the car.
Exactly. You
Because
just
always
watch
be like
out.
the little one trying to debo everybody anyway.
Exactly.
That was the baby from Baby.
Like, that's
Kids. Like,
Story of my
wow.
life.
Give me your cereal.
Right. Speaking of shooting people, so just a little bit of mood switch with Simone Biles. Her brother, Tevin, he's 23. He was in the military in New Year's Eve. He was at a party at an Airbnb. He and his friends allegedly rented an Airbnb, and there was some uninvited guests that showed up, and there was a brawl. What'd you say?
They turned into a whole.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that whole little.
So,
He used all of his military training
so
on
when
that.
there was a bunch of uninvited guests that showed up, a fight broke out, and 3 people were killed. And they're saying that, and he's been charged with the murders of 3 people.
And they like, because of, I guess, the situation, they felt like they gave him additional, like, more time or something because they felt like either it was like he should have known better or something because they said he
No,
was like 6
in that
counts.
state,
It was like
no,
6
but in that
counts.
state, you're charged twice per count or
Yeah,
something
'cause he
like
got
that.
charged
It's the
for-
law
he
in
got
the
charged for
state.
6 counts.
I think he was in Minnesota, I believe.
I thought-
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
thought
Oh,
that
yeah.
was like Cleveland.
Hey.
Where culture goes.
Yeah, so
by.
he shot 19-year-old Delvonte Johnson, 21-year-old Tashana Banks,
It's definitely.
and 23-year-old Devon Gibson. He died later in the hospital.
What was his self-defense?
So here's the thing. We don't really, the details of the case hasn't really been released, but I will say this. He's been charged with murder, manslaughter, assault, and perjury. So at some point somebody was lying, right? And I got to this whole argument with a Muppet Baby on our page about she said, we're so quick to convict our own people before we even know the facts and this and that. And essentially, and I was the one that posted it. So I posted the story initially, then I posted it again today, but with Simone Biles making commentary. And my only concern was not necessarily what he did, because he did shoot these people. It wasn't any question whether or not if he did.
And they actually investigated for over 7 months. So
right.
That was like really surprising
this
to
happened on New
me.
Year's.
How they kept it under wraps for a very long time and did a thorough investigation before they even charged him. And that's not typical when it's a black man.
No, you normally arrested right off the bat.
Yeah,
you're making the news immediately. But my thing was, I hate this for Simone, because now this is like a stain for her. You know what I'm saying? And like, even the fact that she felt the need
to address it
publicly. What do you say? What do you say when your brother goes and kills 3 people? I'm sorry for the family, this and that. And it's like, well, of course you are, but like, you can't defend his actions. He did whatever he did. Whether he, felt
Did
like
she?
there was
I
any
never
other
got to
recourse
actually see
or not.
what she said. I didn't get the chance.
Yeah, she just said she felt horribly for the people who were affected or whatever. But like I said, this happened way back in November, so you're essentially only responding because the media and in the public have, made you feel some type of way where you feel inclined to respond to these types of things. When, you
is that kind of always amusing though too?
Well, I wouldn't have. One thing, I feel like I wouldn't have even said anything if I were her in her position, because what I don't want anyone to do if I were Simone Biles is to try to come for me and my money, or put me in the middle of anything that my brother did. But I mean, to talk about, as far as, I still want to know more details about what all took place, as far as what led up to him shooting them. Now, I'm not saying that he was right or he was wrong. I'm just saying I'm nosy, and I just want to know what led up to him deciding, hey, I'm finna bust a cap in somebody's ass tonight.
The way that the story was written that I posted was written like he was the only one with a gun. Like he was the one that showed up with the gun, at the night. And it was like, so, they showed up, and it's like, oh, and some people were like, well, uninvited guests, you might get killed when you show up uninvited.
But he might have PTSD too from being in the military.
Exactly. And that could be
why
that investigation was so long.
Combat, he was a cook. No, I don't know. No, I'm bullshit. But there's so many jobs in the military, and everyone's not seeing war.
Yeah, but you still go to hazardous areas. No matter if you're cooking, if a bomb goes off.
That's right.
Where you
You're still taught to respond.
You still taught to respond. You still have to carry your weapon everywhere. It's not. My husband's in the military for like.
Look, I'm divorced from a military man. I just be sometimes though look like you having too much fun. Oh, you in a wine barrel, bitch? Yeah, must be nice. That's what my tax dollars
going. Part of it.
Like that's what my tax dollars going. Y'all ain't securing shit over there.
They can see you better.
But I will say this is my only concern. Anytime I've seen Black people exercise stand your ground, I've always seen it not go in their favor. Yeah. White people exercise it every day; they're fine. And there's people still fighting right now where even it's clean cut, where it's like this person was really just defending themselves. They were on their property, and it's like for some reason she's still locked up. Mm-hmm. So that's my only concern there. But then at the same time, with his sister being who she is, I'm sure they probably could afford an attorney. I'm hoping so. And that's an assumption too, because that's not her responsibility.
Yeah, because usually the loop is that you get caught up in the system when you can't afford legal representation.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But what it tells me is that after you go through a 9-month investigation, you're charged, and not only are you charged with perjury. That means you lied the first time you told the story.
Some shit. Like there was some shit going on.
And
you didn't come out
you
right.
You weren't completely honest when you told the story, and so that was my whole thing. Was hanging.
Like I went and got my gun out the car,
charge,
and then came.
And it was like, oh well, I thought I saw somebody with a gun, or
I fear for my
or they was coming after me, or I got jumped. Whatever it was found to be a lie. So it's not.
They're like the Facebook Live video you took before it occurred, because that's how it should be now.
Right.
Like the live video we all seen looked like you was just having to get out, and I'm making all this shit up.
If the other people were under the influence, we don't know if they had pre-existing beef, but we do know that a dead man tells no tales.
That's
so
dead man can't talk.
And then it sounds like the witnesses that are still alive told a different story from him, which is the biggest problem for him.
And if it wasn't, if the story, if it would have been something that happened immediate, where it's like, oh, there was a shooting last night, they arrested him, this, blah, 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 then I would be like, man, they're trying to railroad me. They don't even know what the hell happened. But it's been a long
And
investigation.
it just came out.
That's really unheard of,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
like,
I'm
that
saying.
dude-
Like, really a lot, yeah.
and he got to go back to the base and
Yeah.
continue
Kind
to
of live his life.
right,
and he was
live
living
his life,
feeling
and
like-
that is really unheard of.
So maybe they're just completely unsure from his side, the witness
And then
side.
nobody, you lied from the
Nobody's
beginning.
stories is consistent at this point.
But then until you
Well,
lied
now
from
it
the
is
beginning,
because that's why he
Yeah.
was charged.
Well, right.
But in the beginning, it wasn't. So
I don't know. But anyway, so Simone Biles just continue being great. I don't want this to like overshadow. You know, everybody got haters out there where they
She
try
just
to.
did that true.
Yes,
back
and
to
she's
it.
out there just like.
right, so I don't think she's gonna stop because she
I
knew
don't
about this all that time that she's
I don't
been
even
doing.
talk
They
about
were
my
raised
siblings
by
and shit
their
ain't together. He's like, you gotta sleep on
Yeah.
Like, don't mind her. She in the back room like, you ain't ruining my name.
Right. And it's like they were raised by
Oh,
their
shit.
grandparents. Their mom had like a substance abuse problem. And so their grandparents took them and raised them and they called their grandparents their parents.
Yeah.
And so it's just real unfortunate to see like, you know, a wonderful story just turn into something super tragic.
I don't think that it is gonna really overshadow.
I feel like that ain't her story, and that's what we
Yeah,
have to do on.
me
Like,
yeah.
you don't owe anyone an
I think
explanation.
like you
You had
turn the
nothing to
page
do with that.
Yeah.
and keep going.
But I think that needs to be communicated to her because for her to even make the statement, that for her to even feel like, you know, her publicist be like, you know, you should probably say something. It's like, well, what the fuck do I
Well,
say?
her publicist is probably named Rebecca.
Girl, that's what I was
And,
saying. Like, well,
she
Becky know what the
gave
hell
her
she
that.
But
talking
then, you
about.
know,
that
it can kind of go,
information.
it can go two ways with her. You know, her not saying something and
Like, she
her,
didn't even address
and
it.
her
She had
and
to-
her fan base can snur up at her. And then it
That's
could be,
true.
you know, let me address it,
Mm.
you know, because I do have morals and values at the end of the
'Cause it
day.
was an
And when you
empathy
have
statement,
to
as you said.
implement that. So I think just showing the concern of it, because you got to think about it. When someone loses a loved one, we may not want to hear from you, but we appreciate that you acknowledged it. So I think maybe
And that's
just
kind
her.
of like with Nicki Minaj and her brother when he was going through like that, was it child molestation or
Yeah.
something like that?
Exactly.
Some kind of rape charge or something like that he was going through.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it,
And then
you
she
know.
wife up a rapist.
So I think,
And
it-
that's why
yeah.
she didn't have nothing to say negative about her brother because she was sleeping with a dude to do the same thing as her brother. So I don't think that's the same at all. She wasn't gonna talk bad about her brother being a child molester when her man.
Was she with that guy then though? Because that came
They got
back
like
when
right.
she was-
They got together like right after or something like that. She had a lot of empathy for the pedophile.
What we got here?
Netflix.
Oh yeah. Netflix. On some bullshit.
I don't even know how I feel about
So
this
Netflix.
shit. It's good and bad.
Netflix has decided that instead of releasing all episodes of a season, the streaming giant is experimenting with releasing just one episode a week for a few of its newest series. So they have like this one show called The Great British Baking Show, and so they have the whole season 7 that's up. But you can go and click on it, you'll see them, but they only have the first show up, and the rest of them just have like dates.
Or
of
the
when they
grayed
gonna
out so you
be
can
released, so you can watch them. And they said that it helps with the suspense of the show than dropping the whole.
Yeah, it
there's-
does.
I feel like it's a plus and a delta. Like with myself, I'm guilty of sitting there binge watching an entire and then being pissed like it's over. Like I think I watched Bad Moms the other day. And I was so sad that I was like, this was the final episode, girl. But I was just like, I'm like, there's no more.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I paced myself,
but
I
I think
was like, I guess
Exactly.
I'll
But I
read a
think
book
that's
now
the-
or find something else. I'm like, you just been watching anything because I watched all my shows and now there's nothing else to watch. So I gotta find new shit.
But is that not? But is that not the beauty of Netflix? Like that's why we
that's what
fool
it
with
was.
Netflix.
Yeah.
In the first
I
place.
thought
Because
Netflix was
Exactly.
for Netflix
we
and
can binge
chilling.
watch whatever it is that we
Oh.
want.
What?
Right.
Like,
And if
no.
you miss an episode, you go to the
Right.
next episode and
Right.
just continue
It's
to
exactly
watch.
why.
But it's like
Exactly.
for those people with no self control. Like, so you said, I remember one night I literally called off of work. I watched Wentworth. for the
See, and
first
that's what they
time.
trying to
And
do.
I stayed.
They trying to
Girl,
avoid
I
people
was
from
up all
being
night. I'm like, fuck this
unemployed.
job. I'm like,
Exactly.
you know, and I'm like, I had a
Thank you,
relative just passed, so I'm gonna just, I'm gonna take that bereavement
and
day.
watch TV.
Niggas just in there, just, what was finna happen next? Ooh, like they finna die. It was like,
Abusing
Wentworth is
bereavement to
really good.
watch Netflix.
But I
I did have a
like-
relative really die though.
I
So,
feel like
you know, it was an
Wentworth-
option on the
no,
table. I wanted
I feel like
You wasn't in
Netflix
morning, you was watching it.
is
That was
starting to
all I
get
was-
too big
Mhm.
because they're starting to make premium cable channel moves.
Yes,
right.
they are.
Like HBO, we know that when Insecure come on, that that's the one episode that's going to be available until the new episode
So
comes
come
on,
on,
right?
That's right.
But Netflix, once I feel like this is the power that they have when they start producing their own content. When they have like all the other shows that are coming on other networks, they have to wait until that season is done before they can download it. But it's like, oh, well, we producing these shows, so we just gonna spoon feed.
Exactly. But they also supporting a lot of
minorities.
minorities,
So much diversity, and they have so much
downgrade of
control.
shows. They are.
There's so much between like there's like the black like there's a lot of Nigerian shows that I love. Like they make some of the best content.
I promise you, I'll be up all night watching it.
Or no, I'll be mad with those days I don't feel like sitting there and then there are subtitles, but it's a good ass show. You're just like, okay, well now I gotta focus. Like, okay, I can't fall asleep on this. I actually gotta pay attention so I can read it. But they be some good ass shows.
I did not know they had Nigerian content.
Girl,
Yeah, they do.
And it's good. Like
do.
it's
One
it's
about
quality.
a bus, the transportation.
Yes,
That's
yes.
one of my favorite ones. I can't think of the name.
Girl, look, after I done going back after you done watched everything, now I gotta start experimenting and shit.
Yeah,
See
you gotta
what
find
this is
something
about.
else.
Like, oh, it's actually good.
Stanley says Hulu does the same thing. I don't
Hulu's
even
whack to
watch
me, though.
Netflix.
But I do
so
have
don't
Hulu, too.
have
Let me
Hulu.
tell you, y'all need to start fooling with Amazon Prime for real.
Oh, I love
So I have
Amazon
some of the
Prime.
best shows.
I do.
So Amazon Prime, I have like I do have HBO Showtime, and but all that's through my subscription on Amazon Prime because even they got a special, it's like $5 for 3 months. I'll be canceling like it's real cable. Who like I haven't had cable in 8 years. Like I don't.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't need it no
Like
more.
I stream
That's
everything.
an
Just give me
extra
the highest bandwidth internet you got. Like what y'all got?
And why don't we talk about TV real quick? Do y'all watch Power?
I missed it.
I had quit and I came back because I got tired of the
Yeah,
folks.
y'all can talk. I'm gonna go.
So
home
we're not gonna
and,
talk about
you
what's
know,
going on the show, but just so
Trey Songz?
yes, all this controversy. So Joe has for 5 seasons been singing "This Is a Big Rich Town," and then for 5 seasons,
from the poorest part.
right? so
Debut.
5 seasons of Joe. All of a sudden, the 6th season that we've been waiting for, what, 2
The
years?
final. That ain't been 2
2
years.
seasons. No, they skipped, like, they didn't come right back. We waited a while. So we come back and all of a sudden it's like, like,
Well, I was wondering why he was at the premiere party.
The music gonna be loud. No, he started singing. I was like, because at first I was like, who the fuck is this singing? And the beat changed, and then I was like, he was doing all this extra stuff.
It's
He
a
got that
remix.
vibrato. It was like, ooh. And I was like, who
Bring
is
Joe back. I think
And
he
I was like,
said
is this
he was gonna bring Joe back.
He
So-
said,
He
but
said
he still
next
ain't bringing
But
episode.
what happened was
So we on episode 2 already.
after this, the internet. So Trey Songz posted a picture with his granny, said "Happy 75th birthday," and people was in the comments on Instagram was like, "Nigga, you straight ruined Power, bro."
That was rude.
It was like, happy birthday to your granny and all, but you need to stop. Like, you done ruined the show. And so at first he was taking it all in stride. But then he started getting like real mad, and like 50 was like, "You need to calm down." He was like, "You did it for me as a favor, like just relax. These people are tripping." And he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna start knocking people out when I'm in the Like he got mad. Yeah,
Like,
What? They should
like
have
he
been
just thug life like
disrespecting his
that.
granny birthday.
Now
like
he should have
that.
disrespected that song.
He
like
was
that.
really mad because at the Power premiere, Reginae boyfriend with the big T.
yes.
I love
Okay.
Life and Lucia.
I don't know these
She
people.
didn't go so harsh.
I just know he's Reginae boyfriend. He got those really big teeth. Trey Songz went to dap him up, and the big teeth dude, he just was like and dapped up the other dude. He didn't give Trey Songz no dap.
Was that after he sang the song and fucked up too?
That was at the Power premiere party.
But 50 Cent said
That's
that
why he
this
really
next
mad.
episode, the 3rd episode,
Allegedly.
he directed it or whatever. But he said he gonna put Joe back on. He gonna take Trey off.
But I thought
I'll
50
be
Cent
honest.
said Joe owed him some money.
already made.
He didn't say
How y'all owe him
I
some
saw
money?
a post about that.
But everybody always owe him some
No,
money.
but people
though. I
really
wouldn't
do
fuck
be
with him.
owing him money. I'm like,
He like the worst loan shark
He is
ever.
a
Like, and he gonna
troll.
clown on you. Like, I wouldn't
like,
get
who
shit
would
from
take
him.
money from him?
I wouldn't
I
even get
thought I
candy
saw
from him.
that though on social
hope not.
media.
But I almost had to stop watching Power. I stopped watching Power and I had to go back because y'all like it too damn much. Like I started finding me some white shows. I'm gonna find some white shows. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and post the whole goddamn thing. Because folks will get up in the morning and write a whole synopsis of everything that happened and be straight and do not care. But it's so many of them. Like, and then the sad part is he's like,
And then
"Hey,
they go
I
to
got
work
friends
at
that
the
are like,
call center.
no, I actually got
and
friends
they got
that are
all the writing
psychiatrists,
skills.
like are psychiatrists, and you tell me this what you
Why?
decided to do. So you like my upper echelon friends petty, like Yeah, you
Man.
welcome. Fuck you. So I'm not watching anymore.
Floyd
I'm watching The
said
Good
he thought it
Doctor.
was Jackie's singing the intro.
Who did?
My friend Floyd, he said he asked his wife, was it Jackie's without
Ah.
a keys?
So
Bahamas.
last story, the Bahamas. Oh my God! So
Oh.
Dorian, the Hurricane Dorian, had for like a day and a half just like parked over top of the Bahamas. Like it came in like a Category 5, and
It just
now
sat there.
and then it just sat like over the Bahamas for a day and a half, and it went down to like a Category 2. And so it said the National Hurricane Center said that the storm produced and sustained winds of up to 110 miles per hour and life-threatening storm surge. It says that the combined population of, is it Africa? I ain't been to the Bahamas. In the Grand Bahamas, the two islands have a combined population of 70,000, and they're known for like the resorts and everything.
That's all
And-
they got really is a resort.
Yeah, it's just basically.
Oh, look at that lady with her dogs. Baby, them dogs would have been, oh, my bad.
Oh, the amount of flooding, there's places that the waters come in 20 feet higher than normal. And so some buildings are completely underwater.
They said their whole airport was underwater. International airport was
Mhm.
underwater.
There are buildings that were completely swept away by wind.
Wow.
And the crazy part, though, as you said, since they primarily rely on tourists for their
Mhm.
revenue, these countries are going to be devastated for years to come behind this because ain't nobody finna go there.
Yeah,
They
and they're
need
not
to
a part of
rebuild.
the
There's no
U.S.,
rep-
so they're not going to get
Exactly.
no assistance.
And even too, going back to outside of those resorts, it is a lot of places are like ghettos. Like that, as soon as you step off that resort, you want to
Yep.
step right in there. Let's get back in the resort because
Mhm.
no.
Exactly.
Well, I saw like a 2-story house where the water had reached all the way up to the 2nd story.
Mm.
I think, Kamiko, did you just show the picture of the lady and the dogs? Both of them damn dogs would have been left. Okay.
That's why we
I
haven't
can't
had
be trying to
attachments.
save
Like,
no
Like,
dogs.
it's bad enough I got
over-
human
She looked at them
attachments.
like her
She
kids.
worked at American Airlines.
Yeah, she looked at them as her kids.
It says Red Cross spokesman
I
Matthew
would
Cochran
love my
said that
dogs.
more than
I love
13,000
fighting.
houses, or about 45% of the homes in Grand Bahamas, were believed to be severely damaged or destroyed. And UN officials said more than 60,000 people on the hard-hit islands will need food. And the Red Cross said that 62,000 will need clean drinking water. And they ain't finna take nobody's shit. I'm full with Red Cross. They authorized $500,000 for the first wave of disaster relief, and the government has sent, was it 5,000 National Guard and 2,500 active duty forces are ready to assist in relief
Our government?
efforts. Yeah.
They ain't even helped the homeless people yet.
Well, we don't do that.
Well,
We
I'm
don't
glad
give
they
people
responded
water.
fast.
But wait a minute. This is what I was baffled by. Y'all's president said that he never heard of a Category 5 hurricane.
First of all, the fact
Like,
that he
that's
tried to
foolish.
nuke
Like,
weather the other day, like
retarded.
he wanted to drop a nuclear bomb on weather, just lets me like he just should not talk.
Wait.
Like, give me your damn phone. Like, you know, sometimes we be on Facebook. Give me your phone. It's just like, give me this. Who let you come up here and talk? You
He
just go
was
sit
in
in
the
the
press
corner.
conference and
out.
said he never heard of a Category 5. I was like, where
Y'all,
you been?
I really feel like you ever go visit like your demented grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, or whatever that's in the nursing home, and they be talking, you
They
just
just
be
be saying crazy
like,
shit.
okay.
Exactly.
You just agree, nod your head and agree.
Uh huh. Or
And
you
then
just
leave,
say
you be
something
like,
off
okay,
the
Granny. And they
wall.
leave, you be like, that's a
You're like, okay, Granny.
But that's who they voted for to be the president, which tells you the state of our country. The folks who voted for him are just as slow and I mean, we can't say that word because that's not a good word.
What?
retarded.
I mean, that's, yeah. Context is everything. But no, in general, I feel like we do have the president we have kind of speaks to some of our country's values. So a vast majority, not all, but vast, because he didn't win the popular vote, but that's rare too. That someone this only happened 5 times in history, so we could just get rid of the electoral vote. We could avoid this in the future. But he definitely, and he's like the champion for poor white people. Like he's like their opportunity. He's their Barack.
Yeah.
And I get it, you know, like, oh,
Is he?
I mean, he's
their Barack.
He's their Barack.
Is it?
But I mean,
He's not our Barack.
if we would
He's
just go
theirs.
back to the idea of
Barack
even the
wasn't my
notion that we
Barack.
think that a president is going to
All
save
the
us when he
presidents
can't.
ain't my
So you know what I'm saying, like that. Yeah,
Maybe in that life, but
but in that light, because they thought he was their great white hope.
Oh.
And and one thing that a lot of politicians don't do, politicians speak to black people, they speak to Hispanics, they go for the minority, they go for the wealthy, but they often leave poor working class white Americans out. So that was the first time they felt like they got acknowledged. Like Ohio, no, that's their spot. Appalachian Martins, that's their spot. So he's showing up there, he making them feel like he cared. He's for the working guy, even though he did absolutely nothing for them, but he made them feel like they mattered. And so they're like, well, shit, we're going to vote for him, even if he does absolutely nothing for us at all, which he has done nothing for them.
Do we feel that way about Obama?
Kind of. But we also understood that he was just the first black president and white supremacy still reigns supreme.
He was biracial.
Well, I'm
What
black.
does that mean?
And he's black.
There's no balkanization of race. We're not gonna do that.
He was biracial.
No,
He has a
ain't
white
no
mother,
Now she's trying to,
and an African father.
I'm black and I have a white
Michelle
mother.
Obama
was
said he's
black
black in
male.
every kind of way.
And he African.
I don't know
Like
what that
whether he
means.
half black or not, like he
And
black.
I don't want to know. I know people think
Yes.
he's fine, but I'm not interested in knowing.
Yes. Well, she did the
what
interview with
any
Gail.
of
She
that
said he
means.
is black in every kind of way.
Listen,
You know,
Every way that counts.
Mandingo.
That's her teammate. You know, hey,
He
Uh,
is
well.
Kenyan after all.
Yeah, now he African and now he black. He's not African American and white. No, he's from his father's
That's a black
Kenya. That's a
man.
black man.
But then it
Oh,
goes
brother
back
man.
to us knowing our history. If
Right.
you don't know your history, then he's black. I don't care what you say.
Right.
Go learn your
Bob
history.
Marley was black.
Because
and
if
he
you
was
know,
white.
there
He
you
sure
go.
and folks will like exactly.
Exactly. So you have to know your history.
Right.
That where the if you think
And
about
Bob
it, a black
Marley's
person we
dad
can
was white.
create many different shades.
I
Well,
always
I'm just
explain to
saying when
people,
the white people want to claim him, they make sure that we know he biracial.
I've never seen that. Like me and my white cousin got into it because he does call me like my white cousin loves to let me know I'm white too. But
And that's
when we
what
were
I'm
talking
saying,
about
white
Barack Obama,
people
oh
do
no,
want
But
you to
he's
know
black.
he
Obama
got
was
white.
black to him.
But guess what? He's
I was
black
like,
and you're
oh, no.
black.
That's
And
what
that's
I
why I
know.
said it
I was
takes
like,
you
see,
to know
It's
your
a double
history.
standard because I'm your relative. You want me to because you don't feel like I identify enough with you. Therefore, you want me to acknowledge that I'm half white. But when you refer to that president, you call him black,
Right.
and he's biracial too.
Right.
Oh, it's different. Going back to people play up to what's going to work for them in that moment.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that's
Well, so in the light of moving on, so we have Crystal here. She is from Oak Cliff, and before we kind of dive into that, we also wanted to just do a shout out to all the people making moves in Oak Cliff. We made a post kind of just asking like anybody out there doing anything, and we want to just go ahead and shout out Eric Richardson, Bowman, Kiva Rush, Justin Williams, Crystal White, Kiki Honey, Evie Williams, what is this? LaDondra Wilson, Jay Rashad Thomas. They've been doing a lot of stuff in the community in Oak Cliff. Let's
The
see.
people with 4 Oak Cliff.
Yes.
oh,
I think that
Taylor
was
Jones.
Jamal Thomas.
Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor Jones.
Yeah, Eric Williams. Did I say Taisha Wilson, Michael Smith? I actually pulled like all the
DJ.
comments. Let's see, Tasha Flo. We have Bentley Brand Fine Foods, which they've been on the show.
Antoine.
Douglas Grace, Shea Scott, Shea, yeah. Jason got this is a long list. I didn't realize it.
This is a break.
Oh, cool.
Just name it.
Okay, Smokey John Barbecue and Home Cooking.
Rest in peace.
DJ
They have really good
Talford.
tetrazzini. I just want y'all to know. On
Sean, are
Wednesdays-
you Yoga in the Hood? Lanisha Giles, Bree Wealthy Moore. Let's see. That's one like Tyler. What is it? Tones?
Taylor Jones.
Oh, Taylor Toynes. 4 Oak Cliff. TJP, TP. So these other so y'all nicknames on here. Dat Boy,
Like
KD's,
Facebook name.
Thankful, Grateful, Willie Arnold,
He put
Ty
his name in
Harris,
there.
Trap Fitness with Pretty Girls.
I love him.
So,
And so all of you all, make sure y'all sign up for a sponsorship so y'all can advertise all the greatness that y'all are doing in Oak Cliff on our podcast. Are we taking a commercial break? That was the break? Oh, I didn't get to take a sip of my water.
Take a
Let's
sip.
go for it.
But we're back.
Coming back from the commercial break, we want to introduce our latest guest. She is a serial entrepreneur, Crystal White. She has a few, she has lots of business. Like we were kind of like we actually had to write it down. So she has a med spa. She actually has 3 of them, and they're not just located.
4.
Or 4, excuse me. They're not just located in Texas either. She even has locations outside of Texas. She has a tax business. She has a daycare. And based off our conversation, I'm sure she's working on a few other projects too.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So, just kind of, I originally started, I started young. Maybe around the age 17, 18. I grew up, I was most definitely raised in Oak Cliff, in the poorest areas. You know, I ain't gonna say the poorest, but you know, I was most definitely blessed.
What neighborhood you from?
I'm from Oak Cliff, right off of Ann Arbor.
Hey.
Off of Dryden Avenue. If y'all know me, y'all probably would see me riding up and down the street on my bike.
Yeah.
Going to Jackie Jill Nursery at the corner of the street. I'm probably knocking on everybody's door because I mean, it was just kind of like a family. That whole street was a family.
She has a strip, you guys.
So yeah, you know, so we would knock on each other's door. Your granny cook, your granny cook, your granny. Oh, my granny sent your granny something to eat. You know, so it was most definitely one of those. But just most definitely growing up in Oak Cliff and just seeing just so much that the community needed, or just the change that we needed. You know, when you young, you don't think about that,
Right.
and then when you get older and you start going back to where you grew up at, and you start to be like, oh man, like, we need to invest, you know. And a lot of us, we get our money and it's just like we move out the hood and we try to become something that we're not. I'm gonna say that. And so when I first got into my first business was a tax business. I started my tax business, and how I started it was I was going to someone else to get my taxes done, and I was like, man, if they could do this, I could do this. You know, so I asked, you know, hey, can you teach me how to do taxes? And it was like, oh, no, I ain't got time. And, you know, so it was kind of like one of them. So I was like, you know what, let me do my own research. But what I did was when I got my first income tax check, I put it to the side. I didn't spend it. And so I learned how to do taxes. I'm self-taught. Okay. Everything I know, I'm self-taught. And so that's why I'm able to appreciate everything I have going on right now, because I implemented the hard work, the late nights. And, you know, I tell people entrepreneurship, it's not easy. You know, we may make it look good. You know, the image that, you know, some of us portray may make it look good. But when you go home, you stressed out, you tired, you still got to clock in to be a wife, or, you know, take care of your kids.
It's
if
a
you're
whole
in a
iceberg.
Yeah,
like,
you got
all the stuff under here that y'all cannot see that goes into
it's a lot
what I'm doing.
that you have to juggle. So when I got into the tax business, I told myself that was not the only thing I wanted to do. So I kind of just started reaching out to different people that I knew, you know, hey, let me teach you how to do taxes since somebody wouldn't teach me. You know, let's share the wealth. It's a million people in the United States. It's enough money to go around the table. And the thing is, a lot of us, we like square tables. I like round tables. I wanted to go all the way around and not be selfish, you know, because if I do it, you can do it, you know, and if I'm eating, you eating. And it's just like that. And a lot of us, we get into it, or we don't compromise with each other because we're self, and you can't be for self. And, you know, I tell people, even with my studios, Glam Body Studios, it's a blessing. And when I tell you it's a blessing, it's a blessing. And
explain to them what Glam Body Studios is.
So Glam Body Studio, it's a medical
She
spa.
got everything.
So we do anything from your body, from snatching the waist, lifting the booty, lifting the titties, from facials. I have a new treatment called Pretty Kitty. Okay, so what the Pretty Kitty is, if you shave and you got dark spots, we make it back pretty, which means we lighten it, we get the razor bumps, whatever it was you use. We do vaginal rejuvenation, yoni steaming. Oh my God. I have an esthetician, an eyelash check, and I have 4
laser
locations.
hair removal too.
Yes, we are doing laser hair removal. We're getting ready to introduce fibroblast. Fibroblast is where it immediately retracts the skin. So if you have loose skin and you say, I think my clients call it the Oreo cookie because they skin be all wobbly and stuff. The oatmeal cookie.
Yeah,
there you go.
I
The
seen the
oatmeal
meal.
cookie.
No, y'all didn't.
Right.
And your skin doesn't.
It doesn't retract right. Your elasticity does not retract back right. My birthday is Thursday. I'm running a birthday sale. You get any 3 treatments for $120. Now these treatments are normally $120 and up each. So I'm running the sale all the way to the end of September. So the 4 locations I have 1 in Lancaster, Texas. I have 1 downtown Dallas, 1 in Plano, and I have 1 in Atlanta, Georgia. So I am it's a blessing.
So I can just go and give me like a whole brand new box.
Yeah,
You
so
don't have to
we
like-
have a package called the
Like-
Mommy Makeover,
Mhm.
and it's literally the Mommy Makeover.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
And so the good
You
thing
just walk
is
out the
that
house, you come back brand new.
there you go. But they're non-surgical, they're non-invasive, so you don't have any downtime. Now, I'm not against surgery, okay, because I do post-op treatments. So if you decide you go have surgery, I'm going to contour your surgery and make you better and make you feel better. So that's my goal. When I started the studio, I got in the studio, I opened the business to reach out to women because a lot of us, we're insecure within our own self with our outer image. And sometimes if our outer image is wrong, then our inner image is most definitely wrong. So I most definitely reached out to just kind of pick us up spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And a lot of my clients say, you know, like it's their peace. It's kind of like their spa day. We have Wednesdays. I do wind down Wednesdays. Like I pamper my clients, you know, and I appreciate them in every which way. And we do an anniversary sale every year where I give away free treatments. That way I can introduce you guys to the services that we offer and just let you know, there is change because there's a lot of women out here in obesity and we lose confidence.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
had a
I'm
lot
sure.
of women that lose confidence and it could be something so small. And so we're like our worst critics, right?
Mhm.
So like you may be like, oh, I got this little patch on myself. You're like, girl, you're fine.
Yeah, it do be
But
like
that one
but it's how you
insecurity
feel.
controls exactly how you feel.
And even how you operate, how you move.
It controls everything from your dating life, from your social life. I mean, and it's becoming
It's a
out there.
huge stigma.
But my goal is to make you the best you, because I don't like everybody to look like everybody. I just want you to be the best you, be confident with who you are, and that's our goal as I thrive in offering the services that we offer. So, and then I also opened the business just to kind of educate us and be able to give other women, even men, the fortitude to start and run their own business.
I did see that on the website you even offer. So it's not just like, hey, so these are services, but we also offer training classes, etc.
Yes.
So she gonna get a game back too.
Exactly. So how that started was I had a client and she came in and she was really interested and she was like, man, do you teach these trainings and stuff like that? And I was like, yeah, I do. And so she went from a client to working a 9-to-5, and now she's a franchise owner. She hit 6 figures. And I tell people, whatever you put your heart into, you will make it. And so, I tell people you have your up and down time periods. And I remember she gave me a phone call. And she was like, business is slow. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And 2 months later, she hit 60 grand in 1 month. And so, it's all about what you put into it and having faith within yourself, right? Because I can want something bad for you, but you got to want it bad for yourself. So it's just all about what you put into it, your spirit,
Consistency.
your energy, first of all. Because if your energy ain't right, your business not going to be right, And so I can most definitely relate to that. And then I just wanted to grasp into it to be able to offer jobs to people who have a background. Give them a second chance to be able to create a lifestyle. So my goal is when you work for me, I don't want you sitting behind my desk the rest of your life. I need you to be opening up your own studio.
You're developing leaders.
Exactly.
Like,
I need you to be opening your own. But even if that's not what you want to do, I have an employee now. She wants to start her own lash line. So my goal is to help her and push her and start her own lash line. So I allow her to do lashes. She get to sell her lashes in my studio. I post them on my website, and just to give her that push. I don't want you up under my umbrella the rest of your life. I want you to come, receive, go, and keep it going and be great. That's
She
it.
over there teaching folks to fish. Like, I'm teaching
And give it to the
fish.
next person. And see, that's where a lot of us go wrong at, because we lose that humbleness. And you have to keep that humbleness. And I tell people, look, just as quick as God gave it to you, he'll take it from you. You know what I'm saying? So you just most definitely have to just move. First of all, morals and values have to be in place. Just like they are in your home, they have to be like that in your business. And you have to move most definitely with integrity, because if you're not, everything is going to crumble. It's most definitely going to crumble. And when your energy is off, your clients know. And I ain't going to say my energy ain't never been off, because my energy has been off. due to some life situations. But I used to always be wanting, leave your problems outside the door. And some things you can't always
Sometimes you
leave
can't.
outside the door, so you put your best you on. But if you got a client that's used to you,
Or
they
know you,
know
like,
that
are you
outset.
good? Are you good today? You're like,
Exactly.
Sasha said, "Wow, I was literally just talking
I
about
just seen
using my
that.
nursing license to get into this niche."
Oh, well, give
Sound like you
most-
need to
She
hit
said
her
she's
up,
gonna
Sasha.
need more info.
So most definitely give me a call. I do training. I have trained over 200 some students nationwide. I'm not gonna say
You
worldwide.
on the way. Like,
Nationwide. I've trained
like,
students I've actually trained students in Canada and India, from Ukraine. So I have trained students all over, whether it's web-based, in person. I'm actually getting ready to release my training video. So you can learn how to do these services from the comfort of your home. I'll send you a test. You pass the test. I will send you your license, your certification, what you need to get started. And the blessing about that is a lot of people offer trainings and they'll take your money and you invest in 5 and 10 grand in these trainings. And then after they train you, they close the door.
You never.
I don't close the door. I build a friendship. We friends, I want to see you prosper. I want to see you grow. Because as long as you're prospering, guess what? I'm prospering. Because I did my service, my duty. And so, we just have to continue to push each other, whether it's male or female. And I'm even so forth with couples. There's a lot of couples where, she working 9 to 5 or he may be self-employed. And instead of them coming together, let's make this happen. Let me get you off this 9 to 5. And let's that same temperament that you putting in over here, let's put it in together here. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy, but, it's most definitely a roller coaster.
And I feel like entrepreneurship isn't necessarily for everybody, right? Because everybody, even though you might have a good idea or something like that, people can get involved in business in different aspects and don't necessarily have to start the business per se. You could be like an investor, or,
Exactly.
you can come in, at different levels of it. So I think a lot of times people get intimidated because it's like, yeah, I want to open a business, but you got to do so much.
A lot of people give up.
To get there.
A lot of people give up. I'm one of them. I don't believe in letting people give up if you're around me. Excuse me. I'm not going to let you give up. But, I tell people, when you see people post, it's late nights, it's stress. I ain't been to sleep. I've been up working all night. And then you go to bed at 3 and you got to get up at 5
How
to
old
get
are your kids?
So I have a 10 and a 4-year-old.
Okay.
And I thank God for family. I will most definitely say my support system is amazing. Yeah, and you need it. I'm telling you, you need, especially when you have younger kids, you need that support system. Even if it's from, your relative, even if you married and you have your own business, you need that from your husband, or vice versa. If your husband has his own business, he needs that support from the wife. You have to find balance. And if you don't have balance, that's what makes we make things hard. Life ain't hard. We make it hard. So, you just have to put it into yourself to just, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be in control of my day, because you're in control of your day. And so I had to learn that, because I wasn't always like this. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to be very honest with you. I got a testimony, and it's trials. It's trials as you go through things. But as you go through it, you got to push forward. Don't let it take you backwards, because what may be for you may not be for me. You get what I'm saying? Or what your testimony is may not be my testimony. But the thing is, it's just all about pushing and creating, everybody say equally yoked, right? And they always speak it in relationships, but it refers to in friendships as well, because you have to be equally yoked. Like, me and you can go start a business tomorrow, but if we're not equally yoked, it's not going to work, which means we at least got to be in the same book if we ain't on the same page and working to get on the same page. And the thing is, the biggest issues that we have in our community is that we don't want to see the next person prosper. And we have to be able to stick that out. And that was my fortitude of opening up my daycare, opening up my studio. People like, oh, you hired this person? what's wrong? Everybody deserve a fair chance. I ain't perfect.
Right.
I have my imperfections, and we all do. So my goal was, even when I started my daycare, was to be able to open up and give people that second chance of life, to just be able to have a job, something to clock into, be able to get a paycheck, and support yourself.
And even saying that, I was gonna say, kind of people operate in scarcity. Even kind of how you mentioned, like partnering, you being able to have people you can rely on, that also helps you to be able to open up your next business and then your
and
next
you
business.
must definitely,
Because I think people get greedy. It's like, well, I want everything to myself, but then now you stuck with, if you move, something happened to you, that's your business.
That's
because
it.
you haven't
But
delegated.
that's where
or build
loyalty kicks
relationships
in
at.
and you have to, loyalty runs a long way, and I can speak loyalty all day long, because my favorite topic is, I tell people, is don't watch the next person's pockets. Because a lot of issues is, you can bring somebody under your wing, right? And they sit down and they say, oh, well, she made $10,000 this month. I need more money. Or, oh, she made $70,000 this month.
Like,
I need more money.
You have no idea.
But you don't know what goes out.
Right.
And, and I tell people that just because what you see coming in, you don't know what goes out. And it takes a lot to keep things suffice. It takes a lot for a business to run. Besides you just getting up, showing up every day, right? You still got bills to pay. You still got to make, exactly. You got to keep the lights on. You got to make sure whatever little trinkets that you provide to your clients to keep them satisfied, you still got to make sure you can afford that. And so, I just, my goal was to just reach back and teach one, because what you don't know is, and I'm open. So like, she may know something that I don't know. Right. I'm humble. I want to know that, right? And I may know something she don't know. I'm going to share it
and whatever is for you is for you. Period. I had put up a post not too long ago saying that because I just got my real estate license, and so
congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. And I know somebody who is doing really well in the real estate industry, and so I was like, what, and I respected them and kind of looked up to them, and it's like I want to be like that. So I called him up and I was like, let me know, like, what broker I should go with, and just kind of give me some insight or whatever. And the whole conversation just changed to where it was like, well, you just got to find out what works for you.
Competition.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden I'm competition. It's like I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Like,
exactly. Teach
and I was
me.
offended, and I was like,
but you
take your spot.
Because even if you give me it may not work for me, but you're giving me some stuff like.
But you know what? If they were smart, they would teach you
that.
It's enough food for everybody to eat, and I don't think that
multiple
we
times.
realize that.
But
right?
going back to, but I feel like we do have that thing where even I've been at companies. You go to ask them, hey, blah blah blah. It's like, well, I can't tell you, but it's like we do operate where everyone's competition. It's like there's enough for everybody to eat, and then I feel like if you act like you scared, you're gonna block your blessings. You so worried about what you're not gonna get, you can't. Your hands tied. You can't even get no more.
Exactly.
But just because we've been so impoverished as a community for so long, it feels like the little bit that we do have, we gotta hold on to it. You never know when.
But that's not like faith goes a long way.
But that's just the mindset that they.
There you go. To change yourself, you gotta change your mindset.
Exactly.
And it just, that's. And I made a post earlier. You have to break generational curses. Because that's just like, growing up, oh, well, I probably sit here and watch, they didn't never want to help nobody. I'm not going to grow up saying I don't want to help nobody, and that's just like back to you, even with the real estate. If that person was smart, they would take you under their wings and start building their own real estate brokerage. The thing is, a lot of us have a lack of knowledge, right? And so I feed for knowledge. But we think we know so much, and it's so much we don't know. Like, I just been reading, and I've been empowering myself on so much, and I was like, man, I didn't even know that, But the thing is, we don't want to see the next person strive.
And it's like, we try to reach out to people in our own community, and it's like, well, damn, I'm gonna have to call this white person and ask them.
There you go.
And the problem is, they'll be quick to you. They could really be your competition.
Free.
I have seen it, even like how I do those and I got excited, but it was like when you talk to like us, it's like we acted so funny towards each other. Exactly. And there was like we were working with this vendor, and he was literally our direct competition.
Wow.
Like there was nobody even but here, come to our yacht party. Oh, I'm gonna shoot the shit into like all the game, and it was just like. Mind you, but initially we was kind of like, don't talk to them.
But I feel like if that is what you are here to do, if that is your gift, it does not matter what you do. Everything is going to come full circle for you.
Oh, most definitely.
It does not matter who you give referrals to, or because I feel like, especially like in business, like with, I don't know, like hobby business, like if somebody's a photographer or something, like you can try to take all the jobs you want to, but it'd be better if you have a system of people that you're referring business out to, and then it comes back to you when you don't have any business. They can refer back to you. You know what I'm saying? But we don't always do that.
We don't.
It's so
got to get better.
It's like, why don't you trust somebody? You don't trust them to make some money?
Yeah.
So I have a question for Crystal.
Sure.
Because you were coined the serial entrepreneur, and that can almost be frowned upon. But after hearing more of your story, you have kind of found like the blueprint of starting a business, sustaining the business, training people, and then moving on to the next. So how did you learn that or find that formula to create more businesses without becoming this jack of all trades but a conqueror of none? I think that's important.
So I didn't always know that this is where I would be, right? So I had to find my own divine purpose of me wherever God was placing me at. And so it kind of would be like I had an experience, and like I said, I asked somebody to teach me, and they wasn't for it. And when she said that you have to go to the white person, that was me.
Yeah.
And I got taught for free. I took that game and I never looked back. And so I just told myself, and coming up, I was around a lot. My aunt had a daycare. So after school, I would go to her daycare all the time now, and I would help out. Now, I didn't know the fulfillment in it and stuff, but I knew I loved to be around kids. I love kids. And so when I started my tax business, because that was my first business, and I've been open 13 successful years. And I just kept saying, I don't want to do tax all the time, because sometimes it could be, it could be a headache. I'm going to be honest with you. And because you're dealing with different people and different multitudes of attitudes. So it just kind of, and I was like, you know what else is it that I can do that I love? And so I got into the childcare industry. And when I got into the childcare industry, they train you and teach you and say, when a child comes to your daycare, this may be the best time that they get rest, or this may be the best time. So I started implementing all of that, and it just started pushing me to push forward with everything that I was doing. And so even with the studio, it was at a point when I had my son, I gained weight, and I was just like, nah, I started going to get body reps. And I was like, there got to be a way for me to do this myself. I'm spending close to $200 on body reps and stuff like this. And I lived in New York for a couple of years, and I kind of got into the medical field while I was living there. And so when I moved back home, I said, well, let me try this out, because I worked for Countrywide. So when I worked for Countrywide, they changed the Bank of America.
Yeah, big one.
And then I actually transferred my job to New York. They hired me. I was like I was a senior loan processor. Then they let me go. Then they hired me back. They let me go. They hired me back. And I said, look, y'all let me go again. I ain't coming back. And during that time, I was still doing taxes. So that was kind of like my side gig. I didn't have a lot of clientele, maybe about 75 clients. And it was seasonal. So
were you holding down, you said you were holding down a 9 to 5 during this time period?
I was still working a 9 to 5.
So is that how you generated the capital for the business, or?
No. So every income tax check I had, I saved.
Wow.
I created discipline. Okay. So instead of me, going out to go buy a car, the things that we all spend our checks on. And you know what? Let me tell you how smart I got. As I started learning the tax business, and don't take me wrong when I say this, but when people get their income tax, the first thing they want to do is go do what? Buy a car, right? So you know what I did? I got my dealer's license. I started buying cars.
I started doing all of
you a hustler.
But even too, I like that, and then I like that. Like, even though you kind of mentioned how sometimes people frown on serial entrepreneurs, but like, what is like Warren Buffett? Like, what are these people that own? These are venture capitalists. They own multiple businesses. Exactly. And I feel like that should be the goal, and then these businesses should be able to run whether you.
But you gotta be able to make sure those businesses can run with or without you. You can't forget the ground that you built that on, which means I still gotta go and show my face, right? So I have days I go to my daycare. I create the time to my daycare every morning. I have a cutoff time. I go to my studio. Now it's getting ready for tax season, so now I have to implement extra time for tax season. I'm also doing a free tax class. I'm teaching you how to do taxes for free. I don't want your pocket. I just want to see everybody prosper in 2020. So it's just like, you just have to know how to pull
and time management. You got to be on your job.
Bring them in for free.
You got a hell of a network, don't you?
You know what? You know.
She stayed in the hood.
You know what?
No, I'm just saying, like, now, I mean, if you think about, if you get a game with 10 people,
yeah,
them 10 people gonna tell 10 other people.
There you go. So let me tell you about my studio real quick. I'm gonna kind of get off the subject. With Glam Body Studio, I never did any marketing, right? My marketing was, I created an amazing referral program, right? So I just said, I ain't big on social media because I told you I had to get Instagram for dummies because I didn't know how to do Instagram. So I was like, you know what? Let me create a marketing program because women, I had husbands coming to pay for their wives' treatments, okay? So I said, you know what? You refer one person to me, I'll give you 10% off. Now, we all love to save. You send me the second person, 20%. The third person, you get a free treatment. I had one girl, okay? She sent me 30 people. So you ask yourself, out of 30 people, each person send you 3 people, right? Now, my studio has been open since 2014. From 2014 to today, I have serviced 6,727 clients with a return retention of 4,826 clients.
And she just on her shit. Like, that's now serving.
And it's amazing. And so the thing is, I ask people when they fill out my application, when they come in for service, how did you hear about me?
LaQuisha. And
they say, girl, these girls was at, they'll put a coworker. So when I go in the room, where your coworker? Oh, my coworker was in the, she was in the lounge and she was just talking about y'all services. And we kept asking her, how she was losing weight and stuff like that. And at first she didn't want to tell us. And I have a lot of clients that don't want to tell people and they want to keep it to themselves. But then eventually it'll come out. But I grew my business off of referrals, just straight off of referrals. And then I jumped into social media.
And I want to say something. I hope everybody can hear me. I've been knowing Crystal since we were super little.
Ooh,
in the like elementary, T.D. Marshall. Before
that, we was probably like 7.
Making mud pies, and stuff like that together. But one thing, and I don't think it's great for me. Like when I left with my husband and we went to Colorado, I kind of got away from like the people in the community. I didn't know them as much anymore. I didn't keep in contact with them. But every time I would see Crystal, when I would see you, you were still at 242. You were still, in all these places. And those are the people that you grew up with, the people that know you and they love you. Those are the people that are going to refer you. Like you said. And I think that it was that those people in the community knew that you were not going to just take their money and leave. That you were going to continue to come back and try to hire them or try to make sure that they are successful.
And that's what is, and that's the, that's the driven purpose is to, like I said, reach back, each one, get one, and teach one. You have to reach back to your community and say, here you go. I'm going to give you, they didn't give you an opportunity, but I'm going to give you the opportunity. Now, if you like
have you been burned?
Oh, most definitely. Have I?
It's gonna happen.
I can write a book. I have. But one thing I learned from that is I didn't let that deteriorate my loyalty to the next person. Right? Because whatever your reasons was, it wasn't that I wasn't loyal. Right?
Like it had
nothing to do with me. A lot of it have to do with personal issues. A lot of it have to do with you watching my pockets. Right? And I used to be leery. I just had a whole situation at one of my offices, and I told a girl that I hired, I said, I don't trust people. I said, so show me how bad you want this. You show me how bad you want this, I'm going to make sure everything you want, you got it. But have patience, because success don't come overnight. Right. And so, I tell people, when people like, I started this business with $500, it can most definitely happen. I started my tax business with $150. And I make 6 figures in 3 months. And the blessing of it is you just have to learn. And back to her question, because when you have serial different jobs, it's a lot, but you got to know how to make them all work together, right? So with taxes, you spend your tax check, you buy a car. But that ain't the only way I'm getting your income tax check. You know what? When you come get your tax check, I'm giving you a loyalty card to my studio. You finna come spend that money at my studio. But the thing is, it's not a recycle for me just to constantly get your money. I'm serving a purpose, which means I want you to look good, feel good, mentally, physically, and spiritually, right? Because we go through so much. But then when I get my clients in, every client want to join the business. I'm not gonna lie to you. They work here, they work there. Oh, do you have a training classes? I had to take a break where I was doing training classes every month. I had students coming from different states, and when I say I told myself I wasn't gonna speak on this, but I'm gonna speak on it. How we downlook and downplay each other. When I was doing my training, there's a girl in Atlanta that also does trainings, right? I never met her. Just seen her Instagram, and I used to be like, man, keep up the good work. Always encouraging, right? She had 8 students in her training class. Let me tell you how God worked. 8 students in her training class. She talked about me her entire training class. Wow. Which means she gave me free marketing, right?
Exactly.
She didn't even realize what she was doing. So one day I'm getting my CO to my building and my office phone rang. I'm like, thank you for calling Glen Body Studio. And the young lady was like, you home Glen Body Studio? And she just bust out laughing. She's like, oh my God. Like, she just started freaking out. She's like, I got to call this girl. And I'm still like lost. Like, I'm just little old me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm never one of them that you will know I own Glen Body Studio. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to work just like my employees do. So a lot of my clients don't know, who's the owner of Glen Body Studio. I don't care to let you know that. This is what I like to do. This is what she likes to do. And you have to be humble. Because when that humbleness leaves, everything that you're building it's gonna crumble. It may not be tomorrow, but it's gonna eventually crumble when you lose that humbleness. And every single one of her students did a chargeback.
They charged her back.
You know why? They didn't learn. You know what they learned about? They learned about me. And every single one of them students came to me for training. Every single one of them. And they all have studios. 2 of them franchised with me. The other 6 didn't. And till this day, I still talk to them. And they're all prospering. They're in different states and they're all growing. 2 of them are in Florida. And like, we send each other stuff. Like, girl, look, this what's coming out, And we look out for each other. And we have to do that. Even men. Like, I have a lot of men that come to me. Deion Sanders' daughter come to me, and it's no reason to brag and boost. My job is to offer a service and just be happy. People be like, well, what about our other studios that's opening up around you? Well, some of them are trained.
Yep.
It's a full circle around the table.
Right.
It's 1 million people in Dallas. I can't service 1 million people. I'm content with my 400 if I get it. And so it's, you just have to find a way to juggle all your businesses with each other. My tax business, I juggle into every business, into my daycare. I have parents that may lose their job and they need to go look for another job. I'm still going to keep your kids. Right. And when you get your income tax, you just pay me back. Wow. And have I had parents that do that and was loyal to me? Yes.
And because of that, that's what.
Yes.
And they stay.
And it's totally worth it on those times when you do get burned, and it's like, okay, well, that's fine, and it does.
Right. But it depends on if you're doing it for all the right reasons. Because if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then you're gonna want to talk about it, or you're gonna be upset about it. But you have to move with faith, because when you don't move with faith, nothing's gonna go right. Nothing's gonna go right. And I ain't always move with faith. So the person y'all talk to, this the new Crystal, because I ain't always moved with faith. Because I mean, seriously, just from going through things, experience,
you even metamorphosize a lot.
You do,
life in general,
and especially when you're taking on entrepreneurship. And I don't think I can preach it so much, And a lot of us,
and we're not open to change a lot of times. Sometimes that's what holds us back and it keeps us from going through open doors because it's the unknown.
There you
And
go.
it's like, well, that's not something that I'm used to doing, and I don't really know if I'll be good at that. Jump out the
It is
window.
scary.
What you scared of? Scared money don't make money.
Exactly.
And
Jump
you
out
know,
the
and I
window.
tell people that all the time. You know, scared money don't make money. What you scared of? You know,
That's
either
the
you-
Oak Cliff saying right
scared.
there you go. Either you
That's
gonna
just
win or you
stupid.
gonna lose. You gonna win some, you gonna lose some, and the what you lose.
And even when you lose, it's a lesson.
There you go. And that's going to be your strength to keep persevering to grow. And, you know, that's it. And I just, you know, I just encourage people to, because I used to ask people, you know, I want to start this business. What you think?
Don't ask them what they think.
And I tell people, you better not ask nobody
No,
what
I
they think.
don't ask
Because
nobody
they're
no
going to
more.
tell you no. You shouldn't do that. Then when you ask them why, I just don't think that's, how you going to tell me what's a good fit for me?
Right.
You can't tell me what's a good fit for me, you know, because what, like I said,
Folks
what
will
you
taint
like,
your vision.
there you go.
They will poison it.
But you would,
with
but
your own fear.
with their
Yeah.
own fear, and then you may be.
And then people you care about, and they care about you
Oh,
too.
girl.
They care about you so much that they just want to protect you
We
from.
were talking about our
excelling.
parents. And it's
Exactly.
like, your parents can be like, oh, well, you know, maybe you should just stay at that job because it's a steady check.
Exactly.
And it's like, but I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
That's
They're
what
like, well, I
you
get
did.
it.
And
But
I
here's what-
respect it. You know, you put food on the table.
Exactly.
But your life wasn't really fulfilling.
Exactly. So guess what? It's called break generational curses.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna break that generational curse. You know, my mom had a 9 to 5. My dad had a 9 to 5, or you know, they worked 12-hour shifts with me growing up, and so that ain't what I want. I
And
want to
then-
be able to spend time with my kids, and that's the next best thing about entrepreneurship is you can make your schedule. Now, sometimes when things get a little rough, you got to put your all in, but when it's things that I want to go to my son's school, I want to go to this, I want to be at this, you have that opportunity to implement
And
that.
is this something that you plan on passing down? I know you have boys, right?
Yes,
But is this something that you plan on passing
most
down?
definitely. So both of my boys, all the way down to my 4-year-old, know how to run every single one of my businesses. My 10-year-old,
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
early.
exactly. And so my 10-year-old, he has his own debit card. I teach him how to save, what to spend and what not to spend on. Most definitely, just implement him with
Discipline.
our culture. Most definitely discipline. Discipline, because I ain't gonna lie. At first, he thought money grew on trees. Mom, I want this game. I want this game. I want this game. Hold up, pump your brakes. You know, I got. You know, that night I came home late at 9 at night. I had to work for that. That wasn't free. You know, and so I had to start implementing those type of things. And now I make him work for it, so he can appreciate it. Me and my friends, we took a trip to DR, and
You ain't drink a little bit.
oh girl, I got so sick, and it was off of what I ate. It wasn't even about me drinking.
Okay.
I got sick. But I tell people, when you go to countries where the poverty is, listen, you have to implement that. So like, I'm literally watching these people pour bottles of water on them to bathe, and at night there's no lights, right? These little boys, we were going mudding, and it was a little boy running down the street where we was, and I thought he was just passing out flowers, right? I love flowers, so I thought he was just passing out, not knowing he wanted money for it, right? So he gave me a flower, and he said, $1. I said, dang, I ain't got no cash on me. I was like, dang, I ain't bring no cash on me, because they had already told us kind of be careful. But I didn't think the kids, you know, they're innocent. And so the little boy told me, I said, I don't have it right now, but I said, I want this flower. When I get back, I promise you I got you. And he looked at me and he said, yes, ma'am. And so he kept running in. Everybody said, no, don't take the flowers from me. Don't take the flowers from me. But then I'm looking at this little girl. She getting off the school bus. She went behind the bushes to use it. Her friend took a leaf off the tree so she can wipe herself. So these are things that I'm grateful, because it's things that we take for granted. And you know, I recorded so much stuff, and I tell my son, look at this. You blessed. Like, you're blessed, and we have to appreciate that. Even just oh my God, it was just like it was something. It was something. The kids was working. I mean, some can go to school, some can't. You know, the wife walking around with a newborn over here, and she pregnant. And they stand out, and they ask for anything. And I got back home. I think I'm humble, but I think it made me real humble. You know, I just got tight in the seat, like, the things I'm complaining about, I bet not complain about it. I'm mad because the water turned brown on me today. They ain't even got water to drink.
It'd be like the simplest things.
Yeah.
I think I was exactly. I think I even remember. I don't know if I told y'all I had the flat tire. Then it was like I had a battery, but then I'm sort of like, well, I could afford to buy a new tire.
Right.
There was another car I could drive.
Right.
But I was still mad though, and I wanted to be mad about it. And it's just like
you have, and it's those
let that
moments
shit
where you have to change your perspective. You can do
Exactly.
that all day long with anything.
Mhm.
Like, I get pissed off, oh, my job, this and that, but then I think about it, it's like, well, I wouldn't be able to have a car, and I wouldn't be able to, pay for the stuff.
Exactly.
like your kids places. You got some
Right.
folks can't even leave their job.
Exactly.
Right. And it's like,
Exactly.
well, at least I can take off work if something happens to my kids.
There
And
you
it's
go.
like you have to take that extra step to say, okay,
You
yeah,
gotta
so-
appreciate the smallest things.
in what ways is it better?
Exactly.
And you can do that when it comes to
And life just
Exactly.
always be happening. So it's just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's a juggle. It's a juggle. I tell people, hey, you can join the entrepreneurship, but what I tell everybody is, I be so real. It ain't easy. You gonna have your great days, and you gonna have
what has been like your biggest hurdle?
juggling business and relationships.
Okay.
Being in a relationship, juggling that, finding understanding, especially when I'm gonna say balance, because when I was in relationships, I worked, and I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes work came before my kids, and I had to push myself back to where my son said, "Mama, you get home late every day. By the time you get home, you do homework with us, you cook, and we gotta go to bed." And so I said, that's affecting my kids. Let me pump my brakes, because that's what's important to me, my kids.
Just like doing
Business is gonna come later. I know what my ultimate goal is, but let me have a cutoff time. Let me create some balance. And it actually also took a guy that I was talking to that just was like, you put so much energy into your business, you need to also put it into your relationship. And I was like, well, I put energy in my relationship. If I don't work, then I can't put the energy in. I had to start sitting back thinking about it, and I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. Let me create a cutoff time. Look, my cutoff time, my kids get out of school at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I'm off the clock. The rest of the day is family time. And I do that even on the weekends now. I cut my phone off. You can't call me. You can't reach me. If you do, I got one personal phone you can call me on. If you got that number, then you good. If you don't have that number, that's it. You can't talk to me. Wait till Monday. And Monday's my off days too. So Mondays is like my cleaning day. I make sure I grab my kids and get them together. So you have to find balance. And I didn't always have balance, but you have to find balance. Yeah, you have to have balance, because if not, it will most definitely it can ruin some things if you ain't got balance. I'm a witness to it. So
well, we
most
thank
definitely.
you so much for coming. This has been like so insightful.
Oh, thank you for
Dropping all
having
those
me.
We have this
So we're gonna actually take a commercial break
Oh.
so that we can
Oh,
get
we
our
discussed
drawing
this.
together from last week. Crystal, you have shared so many gems.
yes.
We've had so many commenters. We didn't get a chance to read the comments, but everybody has just really enjoyed the information you shared. So we'll definitely have to post some of the stuff you share on our Facebook page.
And if it's cool, I can go in there and just kind of respond.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
some
Yeah,
people.
please,
definitely.
we love it.
After the show,
Yeah, most
you
definitely.
can.
Most definitely, I can do that.
Tell them how to get in contact with you.
Oh, so if you want to get in contact with me, you can email me info, that's INFO at Glam Body Studio. Please give me 24 to 72 hours to respond. Outside of you guys reaching out, I do have students that reach out to me on the daily basis. So again, it's info at glambodystudio.com. You can also reach me by text, and I'm gonna say text. Do not call. Text only. Because you may get upset. You be like, I'm calling and she not answering. You can reach me by text at 972-989-5634 if you have any questions about anything, starting a business, starting a nonprofit. I do help with starting a nonprofit. Anything you want to know. I do have a nonprofit. So my daycare is nonprofit. And so that's how I'm able to get the money, put it back into the business, put it into the community, and just continue to grow, prosper, and hire.
And just her energy is like so crazy. We've had people on the show, and some people stand out. Like when we had Tammy on the show, her energy stood out. And like her energy is very, very similar to Tammy's.
Yeah, that's what one of the viewers
she
said.
She vibes like super high. And
thank you.
And the thing, what I'm getting from her is that she is the product. Like she is the business. So whatever she touches,
it's gonna prosper. That's the only way it has to go. You know,
we just touch the hem of your garment.
Yeah, it has to prosper.
You have to be able to sell your market yourself.
But you know what I tell a lot of people, and a lot of people that I hire, especially in my studio, they laugh at me when I tell them this because I send them through training and I say your job is to sell the draws off of her or him, right? Which means you're not fibbing, you're not lying to them, but you're making them feel like the best them. And that's your goal, to make them feel like the best them. And that's even with running my daycare, you know, because we all fall short. So even like parents, you know, hey, I understand you lost your job. Keep bringing your child. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
And people like the
I've had, like that stuff. You don't forget those things.
It matters.
You don't forget.
It matters, and I relate to it because I'm a mother. First of all, you know, I'm a mother. I'm a single mother, and I have relationships with my kids' father. And they ain't the best. You know, it could be better, but I can relate. You know how some people say, "I can feel you." Nah, you can't feel me. But when it comes to certain situations, like in the daycare, I can feel you. When it comes to my med spot, I can feel you because I was that girl who gained weight, or I was that parent who needed help at one point. So it's a lot of things that I can relate. So I involve myself around things that I can relate to, which means I'm going to love what I'm doing. In every business I have, I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. So.
And then we'll be back with
the winner of the drawing. We're going to draw the name live.
Right back, y'all.
I want to see the comments.
Excuse me.
That was good comments.
Awesome and amazing. I couldn't see him. My phone died on me. I forgot to charge up.
Thanks for coming, Krista.
Oh, you are welcome. Y'all got their Checkers pictures up there, so we all need to sit down. Y'all know Checkers got their franchise for $10,000 now. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of us. We can all invest $2,000 in on the Checkers.
To get a check,
I saw Steak and Shake too.
Steak and Shake is $10,000 too. So if you look at it, I told my friend the other day. 3 years ago, I said, man, I want a franchise of Dairy Queen. And then I was like, dang, Dairy Queen going out of business. But now Dairy Queen, they prospering.
I think they're coming back.
They coming back stronger than before. And that's just like even with, like Checkers is still in Miami. And when I go to Miami, it rolls. Do you hear me?
Does it?
It rolls. And I think about it, back in the day, they had the best fries. They had the best burgers. My mama used to work there, so I knew. I
got them in Louisiana.
Exactly. It's so much. All the old stuff is resurfacing itself back around. Yes.
We dropping them in our stories. Look, my phone just went from blurry to probably touch the thing. So what's y'all criteria? Look, I'm gonna tell them like we remember what the criteria is for the thing.
No, we're not gonna say none of that. We're just gonna draw the name.
Okay.
It was more than that.
Give me an angle. Come on. You know, it's like
That's pretty.
You and your poses.
So how has real estate been going for you?
I haven't even picked a broker yet. Like I literally just got my license like a couple months ago, and so I've been trying to find like a broker that's fair. I wanted to sound
put my number in your phone. I have a good friend. She's starting her own brokerage, right? And when I tell you she's so knowledgeable,
is she?
oh my gosh, she brings tears. She is so knowledgeable. Like real estate, she don't care about sharing. And she's one of them, if she gets something that she can't do, she's gonna pass it along. So it's kind of like she one of them, she like to see that table just gotta revive, just gotta keep turning, you know. And
What's your number?
You'll love her. It's 214-697-9505. And that's my personal number. So if you call, you're gonna get an answer.
Okay, thank you.
Am I able to take it?
Yes, you can take my phone number.
Okay,
Love.
thank you, Floyd. Right, that was my plan. Should it take more than 4 days?
I would definitely.
Hey,
Because
K1.
I want to sign with Keller Williams because they have like a lot of notoriety and everything. But the thing is, they run like they are
What about
shit.
K?
Like they grabbing people straight out of real estate school. They teach them day way how to sell stuff, and it's like they do profit share and everything. So it's like once they get people, they almost have them like encapsulated.
Yeah.
They don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And I get it, you know, for them, if I own the company, it would be great for me.
There
But
you go.
I'm the last man on the totem pole.
There you
so
go.
it's not that great.
You gotta think big. You gotta think big. Even when you going in small, you gotta think
And
big.
it's like when they were talking to me, all I kept thinking about was how much money they were making off of everybody.
There you go.
It is like one management company who owns every Keller Williams that's in DFW. One.
But you know they have an investment pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, last year I told my friends, I said, man, we need to start an investment pool. Like we all every month,
I would like to do that.
like every month we all need to put in $1,000. You know, $500 to $1,000 and just go. Okay, you ain't live yet, are you?
Yes.
Oh, she
Like,
live.
apparently we
Look.
been live this whole time. We didn't have no music.
Oh, look.
Bloopers.
That was the sound from the video.
No, they can hear us on top of
Just
it.
right there on the last part.
Oh, wow. Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
it's
I'm glad
okay.
y'all were listening very
so
closely.
attentive. You're so attentive.
So,
Thank you.
They said, "Are we supposed to be able to hear this?" We can hear y'all.
we can hear y'all.
Oh,
That's why I just
y'all,
got a
that
text
investment
message.
pool, that was
Do
for y'all.
not call that number I gave her now.
Oh no,
Please
that wasn't
don't.
on there.
Oh, okay.
No, they heard it. They heard everything.
He said, don't give
First
your
time I heard
personal out.
Oh, yeah. They said getting. Look, they about to change that shit. Then give it to us again.
Shut
My
your
girl just
ass
said,
up.
yeah, y'all.
Sam said, "Don't give your personalized after the show."
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. We get excited.
All right, so I'm shaking up the names, guys, for the people who follow directions. And we want to say thank you to our loyal viewers, listeners, followers. I'm going to let our guests do the honors of drawing the names so that y'all know it was done at fairness.
So what we're giving away really quickly.
Oh, yeah, the gift
This
basket.
is a gift basket, and this was from Miss
Be Polish Beauty
Keisha.
Supply.
What's her last name?
Keisha Watkins.
Keisha Watkins.
Did y'all go to Be Polished this weekend? Y'all had a long 3-day weekend. Y'all could have made y'all way to Arlington.
And what we have in the basket is a 30-something podcast shirt and also a Be Polished shirt.
2 of them.
And we have the Leave-In Conditioning Serum by Moisture Love Now and Forever.
Y'all want
Basking
y'all
Bloom
hair to look
Essentials. This is
silky
shampoo
like mine.
bar that we have. And also hair growth elixir and Pro Despair Vitamin Hair Repair. And it's very important that we note that all of these products are Black-owned products.
Black-owned products at a Black-owned beauty supply.
Black-owned beauty
Yes.
supply.
Right.
So we do support Black business fully.
One time
and
we're gonna be the
completely here.
entrepreneur corner.
We are. Right,
Every
we are.
Tuesday we'll have a Thursday show for other things.
There you go.
So this is the basket that she's gonna call the name for, and whoever wins this, I guess you're gonna have to meet us somewhere to get it. But or you can come to the studio on Tuesday. Maybe you can sit in on the show.
Yeah.
That's what you can do.
And the winner is, drum roll,
And the
please.
winner is Stanton.
No!
All
I
right.
know who that's going to.
All right, Stanton.
Congratulations, Stanton. All right, guys. That has been our show. Tune in next week to 30 something podcast, same time.
8:30.
And thank y'all for being with us. We
folks.
finally got that sound right, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
We'll see y'all next week, y'all.
Bye, everybody. All right, now we need to make sure the sound is